So our video is up?
Yes.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Northfield Ice Arena. We are now introducing the teams for both tonight's contest. The Red Wingers taking on the Northfield Raiders. They are introducing the captains, or the starting crew for in goalie, Keaton Wallach. Number 2, Michael Fossum. Number 7, Ty Frank. He's just a sophomore. He'll be joining the starting ranks today. Camden Kaiser, here's another sophomore coming on to the arena. And Caden Munson, forward sophomore as well. And, of course, Spencer Klotz, the senior, rounding out the starting lineup of the Northfield Raiders. We're going to take about 90 seconds. We'll have the national anthem here. All right, we're about ready to get started here at the Northfield Ice Arena as the Red Wing Wingers, the 2-1 Red Wing Wingers, take on the 2-1 Northfield Raiders. Welcome to the Northfield Ice Arena. Jimmy LaRue along with AJ Reister about ready to get started here. We're about 60 seconds or so away from the start of the hockey games here tonight. Coached by Tony Kashi, and Bill Redmond is the assistant for the Red Wing Wingers. And, of course, your coach, Mike Lucraft, for the Raiders, along with assistant coaches Charlie Cloud and Scott Cloud, and managers McGuire Fink and Mason Van Zion. Team captains tonight, Spencer Klotz, Caden Munson, and Mike Fossum, all of which we were introduced just a little bit ago. It was Keaton Wallach in the goal, and he's got about a 94% save percentage, but he's taken on a guy on the other side, Dixon Ehlers, a 6'3", 215-pound senior, who is in the net for the Red Wing Wingers. He's got almost a 95% save ratio, so it's going to be a tough battle of the boys in the nets tonight. So starting lineup for the Red Wing Wingers, 33, Casey Larson. He's 6'5", 190. He's already got 11 points on the season. He is going to be something to battle for sure. Number 30, Dixon Ehlers, the goalie, is captain tonight, along with Logan Bryant. Starting lineup, along with Jesse Olmes, number 19, Cam Schlitzman, and Robbie Tripp, number 12, to round it out. And we're off, and we're running. And the Northfield Raiders now take possession of the ball. Klotz taps into the far end, and down goes Tripp in the end of the zone there. Now it's going to be cleared all the way around. Northfield goes from your left to your right. We're in their white and maroon, and the Red Wing Wingers in their purple and white. They'll be going from your right to my left, or my right to your left, depends on how you take it. But that's going to be called for icing right there, and the Raiders are going to face off just right of the Red Wing goalie. It's in their zone. That one's right out in the point. That one gets deflected, and he gets taken to the ground right away. Puck shot from the point into the net. Ehlers with a save, easy glove save to get things started. AJ, we had a little bit of room to talk earlier today with the coaches, and we'll probably play them in between the periods. But what do you think? What was the impression that they had overall before the game started?
Well, I talked to both coaches about kind of their game plans, and both of them seemed to have a very in-depth game plan that I couldn't quite understand because I'm not a huge hockey head. But both teams seemed very confident coming into this game. Obviously, you talked earlier about both the teams' goalies. Keaton Wallach started for the Raiders last year, and then the Red Wing Wingers goalies obviously had a tremendous year so far, so both goalies are definitely going to be on display tonight in this game.
Okay, so Red Wing takes it in the neutral edge. They're going to drop it into the Raiders zone, but it's going to get pushed right back into the neutral zone by the Raiders. And a hot pursuit is Fossum in behind the net, in behind the Raiders net, along the near boards. He's going to clear it all the way into the center zone. Kaiser picks it up from the right wing, and he gets taken off his skates with a massive hit by number 37, Charlie Peterson, just crushing him. Now the Red Wing establishes the puck in the central zone, neutral zone, dumps it all the way back down in the far edge. Raiders trying to clear it from their zone, finally into neutral ice, all the way across, picked off by Larson, but he gets pickpocketed as well by the Raiders. Klotz picks it up. He can take a fire from the right point, and that one's going to go right back out in front. Klotz recovers. Around it, a little wrap around, looking for something out front. Can't find it. Down the far boards. Now coming into the centering. Dumps it all the way back in behind the boards. And that's going to be Sawyer trying to track that down, back down in the corner. Another shot just out in front of the net. No actual momentum to the shot. Glove save there by the goalie Ehlers there for Red Wing. And that one's going to let that one go all the way back. They're not going to call for icing on this one. Puck's going to come out to the far boards. Cleared out of the center zone. Then knocked all the way down in behind the boards. In hot pursuit is Cullen Merritt from the Red Wing Wingers. And the Raiders come up with the puck, and that's Luke Johnson, and they'll be grabbing that down the right field, right sideline here. And then dumped into the Red Wing zone, but cleared all automatically, and that puck's going to get dropped on the Lakers are going to take and shoot that into the Red Wing zone. Now here's a long pass. It's getting in behind it. Number 21 shots up and out it goes. That's going to be a shot from Tristan Peterson, another Peterson there playing for the Red Wing Wingers there. And that shot from the left point goes up and over and deflected, and a pretty easy save for Keaton Wallach. They're going to face off just to the right of the goalie on the Northfield end. Northfield comes clean with the puck, but the Red Wing is able to recover before it's picked up by the Raiders. Flying down the ice is Fossum. Fossum dumps it all the way back into Red Wing territory. Now into the corner. Puck comes out in front. Fossum tries to keep it in hot pursuit. That's Brackey. He's trying to control the puck in the corner. Tries to clear it out into the neutral zone. Here's another one by Fossum. Fossum right on front. Goalie gives it up out in front. Almost picked up by the Raiders, but then the Wingers take it and drive it all the way down into Northfield zone. And that's going to get picked up by Ty Frank. He's going to try to skate it all the way through. He gets intercepted and picked off in the neutral zone. Raiders picked up by Klotz in the zone. Here's a shot from the center point. That's just right of the net. Klotz with the recovery again. Dumps it down underneath. Gets it into Kaiser. Kaiser getting battled into the corner. Munson out to the point. Oh, but that one's going to get intercepted. That pass came off his stick very lightly. Munson drops it all the way back into the Northfield zone. Chased after by DeBiase. He's going to pick it up. Try to clear it up to Kaiser. Kaiser into the neutral zone. Now dumps it all the way back into the Red Wing zone. In behind, goalie picks it up. That's Ehlers, who just dumps it off for his own player. Almost gets in trouble out in front of the net there. Before it is picked up by the Wingers. They're going to high fly it all the way in through the neutral zone. It's in hot pursuit. They got a couple of guys going after it. Raiders are going to beat them there first. And it's going to get picked up by Riley over in the near corner. He skates up in the near boards, thumping in the neutral zone before it's picked up by a Red Wing, and they try to clear it and knock it back in. And that one is going to get dumped all the way back into the Red Wing zone. Picked up by Wooden. Wooden in behind the net, trying to clear it. Gets picked off there by Gabriel Sawyer. He checks him off there, keeps it down into the far boards, into the far corner. Puck is coming loose, gets into the neutral zone. They're going to clear that one all the way back. That one's almost intercepted by the Red Wing Wingers in the Northfield zone before it is finally picked up by Merritt. And Merritt, 1-on-2, skating hard. That one's deflected off the stick of Bryant. Now still back in the corner. 12-13 remaining here in the first period. 4 shots to 1 in favor of the Northfield Raiders. No score yet from your State Farm Insurance scoreboard. Mark Quinnell, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Puck comes loose into the neutral zone. Frank just tries to dump it in. Doesn't. Loses control of it. Then he gets another shot at, takes it all the way onto the far boards, down into the neutral zone, back into the Northfield end of the ice. Fossum on hot pursuit. He's going to bring a short pass to the near boards. Tries to get it up to the neutral zone before it is again knocked back into the Raider zone. Now they're through neutral ice into the offense and the offensive end. Here's from the left point. There's a shot off the pad all the way to the right corner. Picked up by Frank. Frank with a shot. No good. Far, far right. Kaiser, hot pursuit in behind the net. Red Wing tries to clear it. Can't. Shot on goal. Far right. Nothing there. Red Wing picks the puck up. They go all the way on the near boards. Skating all the way through the neutral ice and almost blasting a shot before that one was intercepted. Raiders with the puck. There comes Fossum all the way through the neutral edge. And finally fires one right on top of the net. They're going to hold that one up. I think they need a timeout.
Well, that was a long set there you had to speak for.
it took a while, for sure. So they're going to face off just right of the goalie, Ehlers. So they're going to give one shot to the Raiders. So it's 5 shots on goal to 1. And it is a 0-0 match here at the Northfield Ice Arena. For those of you who have just tuned in, thank you for joining us this evening. We are at the Northfield Ice Arena as we take on the Red Wing Wingers, take on your Northfield Raiders, both 2-1 on the season so far. That puck is down inside, picked up by Munson in the corner, in the near corner. Battling hard, coming up with it, trying to get a stick on it. Can't do it. Riley takes a shot from the right point. That goes all the way to the far boards. Larson tries to pick it up for the Wingers. Can't do it. Can't clear it. Now they get it cleared. Here comes number 33. He's 6'5". He's a big guy. He's scored a lot of points so far this year. He's something to be reckoned with for sure. That puck just gets dumped in through from the neutral zone. Kaiser skates it in. He's going to take a shot. That one's going to get caught right in the left pad of the senior Dixon Ehlers. Again, Ehlers with about a 95% save rate on the season thus far.
And something we've kind of seen early so far in this game is that both teams are playing very aggressive. A lot of guys are shoving each other around, hitting each other with sticks. It's kind of what we saw again the boys doing against Faribault on Saturday, so don't be surprised if we see a lot of scuffles here in this game.
If you go pound for pound, Red Wing is by far a little bit bigger. There's a shot point out across the crease. No good. Couldn't control the pass, and that puck is going to come all the way from the upper point there. Cam Schlichting with the shot from the upper left, but saved again by Keaton Waylock right in the old bread basket. 9:43 remaining here in the first period.
A nice play by Keaton. He's been solid all year. Another save right there for him.
Puck controlled by the Raiders. Face off. There goes Merritt down in the Red Wing end. Dumps it all the way down. Goalie comes out to pick it up. It's going to come to the near. Picked off in the middle. Oh, great opportunity for the Raiders. There's a pass out in front. Now it's going to get skated in behind to the top of the point. Frank all the way across ice. All the way Fossum trying to find somebody out front. Can't do it. We got Gabriel Sawyer with an opportunity. Cannot control it or keep the puck on his stick. That's going to go flying all the way across into the neutral zone by the Wingers. The Raiders picked it up. Merritt drops it in, and he gets taken and checked off his stick by Schlichting. That's going to get picked up again by the Raiders on there, and looks like Winter in the contest now. Raiders, puck gets dumped all the way back down into the near corner. They're going to call it on an icing call. It does look like they're going to call icing, and they will face off just left of Ehlers in the Red Wing zone.
Another fun thing kind of to watch here early in this game is that they have a lot of the younger guys in right now. We've seen Andrew Winter, Colin Merritt, Mike Fossum, all of them either juniors or sophomores. So they've only had a couple of seniors in, like Matthew DeBuse and Spencer Klotz. So it's kind of been fun to watch these younger guys go at it.
And the good thing is like you got Munson and Klotz, two of the top scorers from last year that are here this today. There's a shot out in front, and that's off a stick save there.
Monson's only a sophomore this year, so that tells you a lot.
Raiders with a shot out in front. That one's deflected out in front. Another shot slapped at it by Geiger. Geiger went out in front, and it goes up and under the pad and into the glove of Geiger. So a rabid little flurry of shots there by the Raiders with 8:28 remaining here in the first period. 8 shots on goal for the Raiders and just 2 for Red Wing.
A lot of opportunities there for the Raiders in that little scuffle out in front of the goal. The puck was kind of just sitting in that blue ice area right in front of the goal, but the goalie was able to keep his eye on it and held his ground and was able to stop the puck from going in.
Facing off his Klotz. He's going to win it, and he's got a shot right across the middle. Misses the pass, or doesn't miss. Munson was breaking for the net and just couldn't get there. Now that puck's going to come loose into the neutral zone. Red Wing tries to pick it up. Can't. Picked up by Klotz. Now he's going to, from the right point, fires off the arm of the goalie and up over into the net. Then we'll have another stoppage of play. 8:15 remaining here in the first period. From your Mark Connell scoreboard, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. We are all tied up 0-0.
Another nice shot by Klotzy there. He's the captain of this team. He's going to be playing juniors next year, kind of taking that gap year to play some extra hockey before he goes off to college.
Munson in pursuit, far boards, picked up by the wingers. For that gets broken up by Fossum. Picked up again by Larson. He's going to skate on through, and he's going to try to go in between two Raiders. Can't do it. Now the Raiders should have an attack. They should be at a man advantage if they can control the puck. There's Kaiser. Nope. They're going to get back in time on defense. There's off the stick of the goalie from the right point. Fossum with a shot. Deflected up and over the goalie and over the net. Raiders trying to pick it up. Kaiser trying to pick it up. Out front is Frank. Now it's Klotz. Klotz skating near to the near board. Down in, round behind the boards. Centering pass out front. Nobody out there. Munson can't get the pass. That one's going to go all the way to the top of the boards. Klotz going to pick it up again. This time a backhander there by, looks like Kaiser there. And that is broken up by the Red Wing wingers. Puck's going to get dumped all the way back to the Northfield end zone. Should be another call for icing. So it will be another icing call with 7:21 remaining here in the first period. They'll bring it all the way back down to the right of the goalie, Dixon Ehlers.
Raiders feeling a little frustrated right now. A lot of those shots on goal have gone in the first 3 games because they've had such good looks, but this is a much tougher goalie than they've faced in their first 3 games. So
without a doubt. Sawyer with a shot in behind the net. That's going to get picked up by the Raiders. Try to skate it out of there, but it's picked off and intercepted there by Sawyer. Sawyer trying to break back towards the middle. Can't do it. Can't control it. Raiders trying to pursue the puck. They get finally cleared it in the neutral zone, and here comes the wingers. Down the left side they go. That's all the way down before it's picked up by Riley. Riley taking off the puck. That shot is going to be far right, off to the right of Wheelock, and the Raiders will pick it up in behind the net, and that's Riley going to skate it up to Merritt here, trying to get it into the neutral zone. Now Riley through the neutral zone, dumps it all the way back into the Red Wing zone. The Raiders will break for a line change, and almost getting in behind there was number 21 for the Red Wing wingers, Peterson, but he got caught and trapped what looks like is offside. So they will bring the puck back to the left circle, left of Ehlers, the goalie, in the Red Wing. 6:33 remaining. 9 shots on goal for the Raiders, just 2 so far for the Red Wing wingers. Johnson out for the right point. Shot gets caught up in somebody's back breezer there a little bit before it comes loose, and Ehlers makes another glove save.
Yeah, another nice save by Ehlers for the Red Wing wingers. Again, the Raiders have had a lot of nice shots on goal, but Ehlers have had the best of them so far here early in this game.
Puck comes out in behind the Raiders, in behind the net, in behind Red Wing's net. Centering pass out front. Shot! And it's deflected again by Ehlers. Out to the centering point, to the left point, and then it's intercepted by the wingers. They're going to try and clear it through the neutral zone. It gets into the Raider zone. Shot just left of Waylock. Waylock still in the net. Puck to the near boards. Down to the lower near circle. Red Wing, Northfield scrambling for it. Who's going to come away with it? It looks like the wingers. He's got a shot out in front, and then in the go, and just deflected again by Waylock. It was kind of a fumble shot there by Landon Ramstead, but enough to wake up Waylock because that definitely it was coming out of a screen.
Yeah, Keaton is going to be in full display tonight against this Red Wing offense. He's had a great year so far. 3 saves so far here tonight. Another great one right there.
Shots on goal 12-3 in favor of your Northfield Raiders. Don't get too funky about it, though, because I got a weird stat for you. The Red Wing got outshot 56-26 or 54-26 the last game and won 6-2. Mm-hmm. So, if we're going to put a shot on the net, it's got to be one that counts. There's a shot from the point from Munson. Munson's going to get deflected off the stick of the goalie up and over into the net, and will face off to the right of Ehlers, it looks like. Everyone's lining up on the left-hand side. The referees are on the right, but they'll come on over here for a while. 5:29 remaining in the first period. 0-0. Klotz with the face-off, controls it. Can't complete the pass. That one's going to go all the way to the far boards. Now it's going to be fired over into the near boards, into the near circle. Centering pass out front. Can't do anything with that. Ty Frank trying to control it, but he's going to have to bring it all the way back into the zone. It looks like we got Fossum and Frank in the back. Centering pass through the neutral zone. Kaiser trying to get it in hot pursuit. He's in the circle, getting taken off by the Red Wing Wingers. There's a shot by Frank from the point, but that gets blocked before Klotz tries to take it and gets pickpocketed. But there's another shot out front. No good. Klotz looking for a backhand right out in front of the net, and there's nobody there. But the net comes off the posts and right across the crease was the best scoring shot they had there for Klotz with 4:49 remaining here in the first period.
Klotz was trying to go for a nice wraparound goal, but the goal kind of got knocked loose out of its posts. So who knows what would have happened if that thing would have stayed in there, whether Klotz would have gone for the wraparound goal or he would have passed it out front. But nonetheless, either a break for the Red Wing Wingers or a missed opportunity for the Raiders.
Referees ready to face off right of Ehlers. That's going to be Volt who's going to face off. He'll win the face off, but then they can't control it in their own zone. That's Debuse who could not keep it. So now he's going to do a cross-ice pass over here to Merritt in the near boards. Merritt down the right side. Dump pass to Vogt. Can't do it. Can't complete that pass. That puck's going to go all the way in behind the net again. Red Wing coming up with it, but a little bit too far off the boards. Another shot towards the goal. Deflected by Ehlers. Picked up by the Northfield Raiders with a centering pass out front. No good. There's a wrist shot from the left point. That one's no good. Some good opportunities right here. Riley from the top right. He's going to take a shot. Little wrister. Nothing there. That puck's going to get slapped up off the pad of the goalie before it gets kicked out to the near boards. Now cleared into the neutral zone. It is the Wingers trying to control the puck, but it's going to be dumped down into the Northfield end, and then they're going to pick it back up and skate it on through the neutral side one more time. Riley tries to dump it all the way in behind the boards with a line change. Here comes the Raiders again, so they're able to keep it in and pull that in. That's Winter able to dump it in behind the boards. Nothing there. Geiger trying to pick the puck up. He finally does. Now he's got the puck in behind the net, looking for something out front. There is a shot out front, but it is deflected by the defenseman from Red Wing. Another shot towards the net. That one goes far left, then bounces off the board to the near boards, and then the Wingers clear it all the way down, and that should be another icing call with 3:22 remaining in the first period. 15 shots for your Northfield Raiders and just 3 for the Wingers.
Yeah, Raiders taking a lot of shots on goal, as we talked about earlier. Red Wing is very much used to having a lot of shots shot on their goalie, but end up taking smarter shots on the opposing goalie. So we'll see what if the Raiders can find something here with all these flurries of shots going at them. We'll see if the Raiders can put some.
Raiders control the face-off. It's going to go right back into the glove. Fossum with a shot on goal, but that's going to be picked up by them right there. And there. So think about this. He's a 94.7% goalie saver, and he had 56 shots on goal, and they won 6-2.
Unreal.
Yeah. So if they got to pick their shots and pick them well, because they have to find some gap in the net there. And he's a big guy. He is huge. He's 215 pounds in the net and about 6'2".
Wow.
Centering pass for the Raiders. There's a backhand. It's class, and that it is going to be a goal right there. Geiger. Looks like Geiger, number 12, with a deflection off of Klotz and Camden Kaiser with the goal.
Nice play by Kaiser, able to get out in front of the net. He's only a sophomore this year. He had a lot of playing time in the football season, getting some playing time on the ice. Nice to see him get a goal here for the Raiders. 17 shots on goal, finally got one to go in.
Indeed. Number 12, that's Camden Kaiser's. That's his third goal of the season, and he's got 4 points. And of course, the assist goes to Spencer Klotz, who was able to grab the puck and backhand it off half the pad of the goalie before Kaiser was able to drive it home. 1-0 from your Mark Cornell scoreboard. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. They control the puck, and they'll bring it back into their own zone. Now they'll pump it up, pitch it up, but now it's going to get picked off by the Red Wing Wingers in their own zone. Now they'll skate around backwards, and in behind the net it goes. Fossum picks it up, down the far boards. There's a pass set up there where they clear it into the goal and into the zone. Coming down the left side again. Centering pass out front. That one comes all the way across the ice and almost out of the zone. Riley dumps it in back into the near corner. The Red Wing picks it up, trying to skate it through the neutral zone. They do so. Goes back into the Northfield area, but it's picked up again in the neutral zone. They're going to bring it forward. Riley all the way cross ice pass. That one intercepted. It gets blocked by his own guy coming out of the bench. There's a pass out in front for Red Wing, but that gets broken up by the Raiders. Down the left side we go. Winter all the way down. Pauses. Looks to find a pass across the middle. Can't do it. That puck's going to go all the way across for the Red Wing. And the Raiders are going to try to hold it in and keep it in. Pass is still at the top of the ice. The puck did come out of the zone, so they're going to back up and regroup. Puck all the way through the neutral zone. Riley trying to defend against the winger. Merritt picks it up. He's looking for a pass. He gets stick checked right there. Puck comes clean into the zone. And now they clear it again into the neutral zone. Raiders in their own zone. Off the stick of Merritt. He gets checked off the stick. That puck's going to go back into the Northfield Raiders zone once again. Royal with the puck, and he'll pick it up, and they'll slide it all the way. Miss pass across the middle, but it does go into the winger zone before they pick it up. And they will clear it all the way down into the Northfield zone. It's a back and forth ping pong match here in Northfield Ice Arena with 1:03 left to go in the first period. Klotz clears it into the zone. Now it's from the right point. He's getting in the crease. There's a shot and he scores! Spencer Klotz. Solo shot off the boards, up and over the top of Eilers to give the Raiders a 2-0 lead.
What a play by Spencer Klotz. He was able to get the puck into the Red Wing winger zone, kind of bounce it off Gabe Sawyer, right back to Spencer Klotz. Found a way to get in front of the net and put it right into the net, right past the Red Wing goalie. That percentage is going down, Jimmy. So I like to
see. Yeah, if you're going to take a shot, you got to make it count for sure. They're going to control the puck on the face-off again. Just 45 seconds remaining. So at the 16:08 mark, Spencer Klotz puts the Raiders up 2-0 from the Mark Cornell scoreboard. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Now there's a pass out in front by the Wingers. A blown defense play right there, but the Raiders are going to try to hold on to it. 30 seconds and counting down. Kaiser into the neutral zone, all the way down into the Wingers side. Now he's going to bring it around, looking for a centering pass all the way around. And he's got somebody out front, but he cannot pull the trigger on that one. Eilers finally gets a save on that one. So it was a great opportunity for Ty Frank right out front for a shot on goal, but was unable to capitalize on that one. 21.5 seconds remaining here in the first period.
That was a perfect pass by Cam, but Ty Frank just could not quite handle the puck. Had a wide open shot, but just missed it. Ended up bouncing off the goalie's pads, and here we go again.
Face-off controlled by the Raiders. Tied up in the far corners now. Battling, 11 seconds and counting. Centering pass off, ready! Just misses it in behind the net. Wow. Frank at the top. They're not going to let off the trigger at all here. They're just going to keep hammering and firing away. That was another rare opportunity out front. There was a net that was open enough for he had Eilers. He had Eilers on one side of the net with the puck on the other side, and he just missed it.
The Raiders up 2-0 after one period. Shots on goal in favor of the Raiders, 19-3. And the Zamboni will come out to clear the ice. And we'll be back here for a first period recap. You're listening to Raider Hockey on KYMN 95.1, The One.
We can't hear you, Jeff, in case you're wondering.
anything. So, are we still live?
Welcome back to the Northfield Ice Arena as your Northfield Raiders 2-1 on the season lead the Red Wing Wingers 2-0 with 19 shots on goal and 3 shots only for the Red Wing Wingers. We're in between periods 1 and 2 for some of you that are listening on the radio. If you'd like to check it out, if you go to kymnradio.net, we are streaming live this evening. We are definitely trying to do a little something here. And we're going to be bringing you some interviews here in just a minute. But we're just working with our new technical directors and advisors here as we are streaming live on kymnradio.net. So if you want to check us out, just go to kymnradio.net and we'll be able to do that as well. So just a quick recap of the first period here. It is 19 shots on goal for the Raiders, 3 for the Red Wing Wingers, and it was pretty much just all in all. It wasn't until the 13:55 mark that Camden Kaiser was able to backhand one in from a assist from Spencer Klotz, and then it was just a couple minutes later that it was again Spencer Klotz with a shot on goal to put him up 2-0.
And that's that rally going that you kind of have with these teams, especially this close-knit team. These guys play football together. They play lacrosse together. They do a lot of sports together, so they have a lot of communication. They have a lot of chemistry. So once one guy puts one in the net, you could expect a couple more to come right after that. So it was no surprise that once Cam was able to get one past the Red Wing goalie, Spencer Klotz came in all by himself, put one in the back of the net. So don't be surprised if we see that again here tonight or moving forward throughout the rest of this season.
So that would have been Spencer Klotz's 3rd goal on the season, and he's got his 5th. That's his 4th goal on the season and his 5th assist already. So he's got 9 points on the season. prior to the game, we had a little special programming in memory of, just December 7th, 1941, Pearl Harbor. You may have heard that, and if you didn't, it was a great program to be participating in. So we pushed our programming back just a little bit, but we were able to have a little discussion with head coaches, and we were caught up to Mike Lucraft, the head coach for the Raiders, and we were able to find out what his anticipation was. So we're a little bit late to this, but let's find out what Lucraft has to say about tonight's game.
Yeah. So, Coach, coming off a couple of back-to-back home wins, what was kind of your message this weekend coming into this game tonight?
The first few games of the season, especially with a lot of new players, there's some development. So each game we were able to make a few less mistakes, which is always critical at the start of the year. Guys, you're anxious those first few games getting into high school hockey, and so you end up kind of taking yourself out of position a lot. So I thought we did a better job of that on Friday night, and then also on Saturday in both those wins. So that was good. We're learning as we go.
And Saturday, your offense was able to score 5 goals against Faribault. What's kind of the game plan tonight on offense to take on this Red Wing team?
Yeah, we got caught a little bit in that game with too many forwards and forecheckers down low. So, trying to support the middle of the ice a little bit better, try to keep our third forward a little bit higher, use the points a little bit better, try to spread them out in the defensive zone so there's a little bit more room to move. I know some of these teams like to really pack it in, and they got a lot of guys kind of standing in front of the net. So, the goal is to just try to spread our offense out a little bit better. And then when we are able to attack in transition, to use our speed wide and try to get around their D to attack the front of the net.
And then on the flip side, what's the game plan on defense to keep these Red Wing offense to as few goals as possible?
Yeah, kind of similar stuff that we've done all year. Be good in front of our net, try to reverse the puck when we have an opportunity so we can get out of the zone quickly. And it's really about discipline. When you're in your defensive zone, make sure that you're not thinking offense before you think defense. Good defense always turns into good offense, but straight lines out to forecheck, stop and start is really the key. When we get lazy, sometimes we have a tendency to loop. And when we do that, we get out of position and pucks end up in bad places. So just more than anything else, just discipline in the defensive zone. And we have some skilled players and some good aggressive players, so that should help us.
All right, thank you, Coach, and good luck tonight.
Thank you.
That is Coach Mike Lucraft with A.J. Reister there just before the game, and he's basically telling the truth. It's just exactly kind of what's going on right now. Fortunately for the Raiders, they've kept the puck in the winger zone. Like I said, out shooting them 19-3. They did win 6-2 against Simley just last Thursday night, but they were outshot 52-24 and still won that game 6-2. Not to mention that they went to Moose Lake and they scored 11 goals that night and put up 11-1. So this team can score and can put them, put some pucks in the net. So we'll just have to see how that is. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll do another kind of a recap of the first period, and then we'll also talk to the head coach Tony Kashi and from the Red Wing Wingers. You're listening to Raider Hockey on KYMN. Welcome back to the Northfield Ice Arena with Jimmy LaRue and A.J. Reister. Raiders are ahead of this game, 2-0 for your Mark Cornell scoreboard. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there, outshooting 19-3 here in the first period. And so again, Red Wing coming in 2-1 on the season with 2 solid victories back-to-back. And we were able to catch up with their coach, Tony Kashi, before the game. Let's find out what he has to say about tonight's contest.
Coach, so this Northfield team's coming off back-to-back home wins. What's kind of your game plan here tonight on offense to try put a couple of goals in the back of the net?
So our focus early on this year has really been an aggressive forecheck, and that's what we're going to hopefully keep going with this year. Past years we've been pretty passive and kind of letting the team set things up, and so the teams that we've been playing early on have had some young D, and we're hoping to keep that energy up on the forecheck to gain control of the puck and see if we can get some opportunities out of the corners.
And then on the flip side, what's your plan on defense to keep the Raiders out of the net?
So we've really been doing a really good job of just doing team defense. We have our D aren't chasing too far into the corners, keeping everything out to the perimeter. We rely on our goalie quite a bit with Dixon as this is his 4th year as seeing varsity pucks. So we lean on him quite a bit, and we want to limit the shots than we have in the last few games, but when we keep things out to the perimeter, he can usually take care of them pretty well. So, our centers need to help out a little bit more in the corners than we have in the past, and because Northfield likes to play behind below the goal line a little bit more than we like to see. Playing some team defense in our centers and D staying home is going to be key for tonight.
And since this is Northfield Raider Radio, who are kind of 2 guys on your squad that you're really excited to see tonight?
Up front for us, number 33, Casey Larson is he's our leading scorer right now. He's pretty opportunistic. If he gets some space, we like to see him get down the ice, and really our goalie Dixon Ehlers has been huge for us. I think 2 games he's seen more than 50 shots this year, but one of those games we were able to win just due to his experience back there. So and at D, our captain 28, Logan Bryant, and this is a 3rd-year captain for him, and he kind of runs our D unit. So those would be the 3 guys that I'd be looking out for.
All right, thank you, Coach. Good luck tonight.
Thank you.
Well, that kind of recaps everything, and you're talking about some strong forechecking for sure. The players are all back on the ice right now as we are just about ready to wrap up the end of the first intermission here as the Raiders take to the ice, and along with the Red Wing wingers, they'll flip sides this time around. So the Raiders will be going from the right to the left in their white and maroon jerseys. So from the right to the left we'll go there, and from left to right for the Red Wing in their purple uniforms. So we're just about ready to get the start of the second period here on the way. You're listening to Raider Sports on KYMN 95.1 The One and streaming live on KYMNradio.net. We have video for you tonight, boys and girls, so if you want to check it out and actually watch the game, all you got to do is go to that website, KYMNradio.net, and you should be able to dial us in. So we hope you enjoy the program. We are testing out the system. It is a new thing that we got going on with our hockey squad this year, so we got a few bugs along the way, but we're hoping we're going to figure all of that out. We got 17 minutes back up on top of the clock, 2-0 for your Mark Cornell scoreboard. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And we're off to the second period. Raiders will pick it up. That's going to be Fossum going down to the left side of the board, dumped all the way in behind for the Wingers. And they are going to continue to do some forechecking. We've been able to keep the puck in their zone, but when we get down in their zone, there is a bunch of forechecking going on for sure. They like to take guys off their skates and get them off of sync. There's a shot from the right point, and that's going to go right back in the glove of Ehlers. Down the right side board they go, and that is Munson with the shot. Pretty much just a straight-out shot from the right point, and that will make it 20-3 in favor of the Raiders. Klotz will face off just to the left of Ehlers. That puck is going to come loose. Red Wing will control. Intercepted and deflected by the defenseman. Cuts all the way into the near boards, all the way in behind the near boards in the near circle. It is a battle against the boards before Red Wing comes out of it into the neutral zone, but that is picked up by Fossum pretty quickly and dumped back into the Raider zone before they clear it into neutral zone. And now it is a hot pursuit. Larson comes up with it for the Wingers. He's trying to clear it, can't do it. Trying to dump it in behind the boards. That doesn't go in behind the boards. That's going to come off the top of a player in the box, and they'll have a neutral zone face-off in the middle of the ice. So we're just about another minute in here into the second period, and the Raiders lead this contest 2-0 in the neutral zone. Far circle picked up by the Raiders. Cross ice pass all the way to Sawyer on the left point, and he'll take a wrist shot, and it is caught again by Ehlers.
Fun fact, for those of you who are watching, the ref who is dropping the puck tonight is Ryan Malka. He's also a baseball coach for the NYBA. He coaches our oldest team, so he's out here doing some refereeing tonight for hockey. Very
nice. Okay, the Raiders going to pick that one up. DeBuse across in the neutral ice. He's going to try to dump it in. That's get picked up and he's able to get it off the stick and into the corner. It goes. So the Raiders trying to control that. Merritt down there in the corner comes up to the circle. Picked off by the Red Wing off the backboard and back into the zone for Red Wing before they cleared it in the neutral zone. Now it is back into the Red Wing zone as they clear it all the way across in behind the boards all the way to the near side. Tries to clear it through the neutral zone. Raiders pick it up. Now another shovel pass before it's picked off again by the Wingers. The Views picks it up into their own zone. They skate backwards into their own zone, regrouping. Off the board it comes. Picked up. Now it's another cross ice pass before that gets picked up, but then down the left side of the line, Geiger with a shot and just wide right of the net as that one comes loose. Picked up by Olsen over in the corner into the middle. Now his shot, stick, check there, out in front. Can't get the pass, can't get it. There's Johnson out in front. Pass down in behind the net, and they pull the goalie.
The Raiders pulled the goalie. Looked like they're going to try to get an extra guy out there to try to sink another one into the back of the net, but the whistle was blown, so the Raiders are going to put Keaton Wallock back in front of the net.
They do have a 2-minute penalty against the Red Wing. Red Wing is going to be shorthanded now, so they'll be on a 2-minute power play here for the Raiders.
Klotze tried to get a reach-around goal.
Is that on Klotz?
I think it was.
Okay, so then puck is going to be a power play for the Northfield Raiders. That puck's out in front, and that's going to be a shot across the middle. They're just going to play with it out in front as they regroup. They've got the man advantage here. 14:25 remaining with just 1:36 in the power play. There's a pass all the way across ice through the crease and all the way through, not through the crease, but through the circle all the way across down to the top. Munson down into the lower circle. Skating in the middle. There's a shot that's deflected out in front, and that one's going to get swallowed up by the Raiders. Getting a little huffy-puffy down there, getting a little crazy down in the corner down there as they start to scramble it up a little bit. Like I said, they are a pretty good-sized squad. Pound for pound, I think Red Wing probably's got a few bigger guys out there, and they're not afraid to show it.
Mm-hmm. And they know the Raiders are an aggressive team. They know they like to put their shoulders into those pads and shove guys up against the board. So Red Wing knows that they're bigger than the Raiders, but we'll see who can come out on top tonight.
Raiders with the puck in the Red Wing zone. Far circle, out to the point. Frank is going to take a wrist shot. That's going to go bounce right over the top of the glove of Ehlers and up and over, back into the corner, into the near corner. Raiders control the puck on the power play. Klotz to the point. Frank can't get a stick on it, loses it. Now it's going to go all the way to that far circle, far boards. In behind the net, looking up front, nothing there. Klotz unable to get open in his crease. There's another wrist shot across the middle. Klotz with the rebound, and that's going to go off the pad into the near boards. But he's passed all the way across the stick, across the ice. Klotz getting in the middle. He cannot control it. Red Wing tries to clear it out and finally gets it out of their zone with just 28 seconds left here in the power play for the Raiders. So the Raiders are going to skate hard through. 17 seconds. Klotz coming all the way down the middle. He's got a shot on goal. He can reflected by Ehlers. Ehlers kicks it out front before the Red Wing Wingers are able to clear the puck, and all the way down the ice it goes. So they are going to get by unscathed on this one. There'll be a penalty. That's a 2-minute penalty there, and it was on Peterson there. And the Raiders unable to score during the power play, but now they are at full strength for the Red Wings. Getting in all the way in behind the net. That's going to be Winter. Winter passes all the way out to the front, and puck comes loose out of the zone. They all bring it back in the neutral zone and regroup. Red Wing trying to clear the puck, couldn't do it, couldn't get a stick on it. Raiders pick it right back up, skate it right back in. That's Geiger, and now it's picked up by number 16 up front with a centering pass, and he just misses it. That was Winter with a nice backhanded pass over there to Geiser, and he was not able to capitalize on that shot as well. If I'm reading that correctly, they now are out shooting the Wingers 26-3 with 12:22 to go here in the second period.
Talk about some speed and stick handling from Geiger, who's able to break a couple of guys' ankles basically on the ice, then got out to Winter and then got out in front of the net. Almost had a goal, but just missed.
Again, you know, Ehlers a really good goalie out there and out front and whatnot. So, he had a tough second period there for those first couple of minutes, or the last couple of minutes of that period. But I'm sure that, they've got all the faith in the world in them. Raiders will control the face-off on that, try to keep it into the Red Wing zone. It's going to get broken up by Red Wing. Finally, tried to clear it out of there. And there's a centering pass there that goes off the skate of Johnson there. Before the puck comes all the way out to the front left point, in behind the boards it comes. Down in the corner is Casey Larson for the Red Wing. He's the guy, he's their big gun. There's a centering pass right there. There's a shot. And that just goes left of the net, and that one comes off the board. And Red Wing trying to keep it in now. This is probably the most aggressive they've had. That's probably their best offensive stance they've had thus far tonight. But again, forecheck down in the Red Wing zone. Red Wing will come up with the puck. And they'll try to skate down the near boards. They'll take it in behind in the circle, try to clear it in the neutral zone. It comes loose. Fossum picks it up, dumps it right back into the Red Wing zone. Again, very, very aggressive stick check by Tripp on Fossum there. So the Raiders still trying to keep it in the zone. Red Wing trying to get it out. They finally do, and it gets in behind them, and that's going to be in behind, but they could not get to it. Casey Larson was in hot pursuit, but it was a too long of a pass, and it goes in behind the net, and the Raiders will now face off again left of the Red Wing goalie.
Raiders, again, kind of controlling the puck in the Red Wing zone so far in this game. We've seen a lot of shots on goal. Obviously, Raiders are up 26-4 on shots on goal.
Puck is controlled by the Raiders, and that's going to be a shot from Fossum from the top left point there. Top of the circle, in behind, Klotzkaiser comes loose with it. Fossum on the left, he's going to take a wrister, and he kind of got it through the guy's leg somehow, and there's a backhander right there by Caden Monson, and that one just sails right over the top and right in to the big net over the top, so that'll just be a stoppage of play, and we will face off right of Dixon Ehlers for Red Wing in the near circle.
Monson's kind of a fun story. He's only a sophomore this year, but was elected captain, so you got Spencer Klotz, a senior captain, Michael Fossum, a junior captain, and then Caden Monson, a sophomore captain.
A lot of even balance here. Here's Fossum with a wrist shot from the left circle. That one comes all the way off across the ice. It's going to get picked up by the Raiders here in the neutral zone. Taking off the puck. There's a shot by Munson. A nice defensive forecheck there. Raiders controlling the puck in their own zone. Fossum's going to get tripped. There is no penalty. Here's a 3-on-1 in the back, and cannot control the pass. Fossum picks it up, and now he'll clear it again. And Klotz trying to get a hold of it. Now he's in behind the defense. Here he comes again. Here's a quick pass. Oh, and he just misses. He couldn't get a stick on it. Klotz with another great assist opportunity, and that one just could not. They just could not get it. Kaiser couldn't get a stick on it, and so they'll turn it around and go back the other way. DeBuse in the neutral zone, dumps it all the way in behind Red Wing, all the way in behind it. It just keeps going around and around and around the horseshoe. Picked up by Klotz. We've got a delayed penalty coming again. Klotz from the point, shot, no good. Picked up in the corner, skate in behind the net. Picked up again by DeBuse. He's going to have a centering pass out in front. That one just scoots right on through the slot, and that'll just keep on going. Here's a shot from the right point. That one's no good. That's going to be Riley for that shot. He cannot capitalize. And there we go. We're going to have another penalty here for cross-checking against the Red Wing Wingers.
And I believe, that is against Red Wing. Brecken Riley took a shot on the far boards, and that is what the penalty was called on. You could hear it from up here. That was a tough shot he took. So Red Wings number 21 is going to hit the box here for another 2-minute power play. Keaton Wallach was out out of the goal there on that offensive stand by the Raiders, but the Raiders still could not capitalize even with an extra man on the ice.
And that's Peterson again with the, that is Peterson, Tristan Peterson's second penalty of the evening. They'll put him in the box again for 2 more minutes as the Raiders will have an opportunity here now to play in the power play with a man advantage with 1:45 in that power play left. Raiders with the control of the puck. That's from the left circle there. Nothing out in front. Debuse cannot get a shot on it. Puck comes loose into the far boards. Now centering. Pass out in front. Geiger out in front. Can't do it. They'll clear the puck. It'll go all the way down. It is a race. Fossum in a foot race, so to speak, with number 12, Robbie Tripp. Tripp comes away with it in the Raider zone. 2-on-1 back in the corner down there, just stalling for time. That's all they can do. That's all they need to do. They just want to get this power play over with. Raiders are going to come loose with it. Tripp goes to the ground, and they are going to call, it looks like Fossum. Is he heading to the thing? I think heading to the box. Fossum is going to get clipped for tripping. 2 minutes.
Yeah, Michael Fossum, he's a junior captain this year, but he is known for being an aggressive player. He's not afraid to get in up in those boards and hit a couple of guys to go get the puck. So no surprise there that Fossum is going to get caught with a penalty on that tripping call, as he loves to play aggressive.
We will be 4-on-4 here for about the next minute or so, and then it'll be another minute power play for the Red Wing Wingers. So we're going 4-on-4 here. Here's a pass all the way to the near side. Munson all the way down the near boards. Into the corner it goes before that puck kind of pops loose, and then out comes the Wingers trying to get it in the neutral zone. And they cleared it in the neutral zone before it is picked up by Frank. And Klotz pass to the middle through the zone. Here they come. 2-on-2s. Klotz with a centering pass, and that one's no good. Frank can't get a stick on it. Munson with the rebound. Centering pass out in front to Klotz. He cannot put a stick on it. Now Red Wing back coming the other way. And that puck's going to get dumped all the way down into the Raiders zone, into the nearest boards, into the near circle. This puck comes loose right out in front before Klotz is able to pick it up. Hot pursuit there by number 16, Ahem, trying to make a play for the Wingers before it is again picked up. The Deuce with the puck skates it all the way through the neutral zone, down on the left circle. There's puck goes out in front, just right off the stick, and they'll just stop it right there. And with 12 seconds left in the 4-on-4, we've just got, and then it'll be about a minute for the Raiders that they'll be shorthanded for the remainder, or for the remainder of the penalty against Fossum. So 7:56 remaining here in the second. 2-0 from your Mike Corner scoreboard. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And the Raiders will control the face-off in the near circle. Skates all the way in behind to the far circle. Now across the middle, there's a shot right into the goalie, right into his chest, and they'll hold that one up. And we'll face off again just left of the Red Wing goal.
Geiger and the goalie there having a few words, which is kind of funny to me because Geiger's probably one of the smallest guys on the team. He's pretty short and doesn't have a whole lot of weight compared to the goalie who's in there, who, like we talked about earlier, is a big guy. So Geiger not afraid to get in there and have a few words with the big guys.
6'3", 215. So yeah, definitely not afraid to back down. That puck goes all the way in behind the Raiders net, and it is going to come loose. 41 seconds on the power play for the Red Wing Wingers. They have the puck and skating it through to neutral ice. In through neutral ice, now into the Raider zone. That one's going to get picked up by Geiger. Geiger with a nice stick check there, tries to dump it in the neutral zone. Doesn't go much farther into the zone. The Wingers will skate it back into their zone, now through the neutral zone. Geiger again putting a shoulder to him. There's another great stick check right there by the Raiders. That's Winter with a nice defensive play. Puck comes loose into the far boards, into the far circle before it is cleared. Up, picked up by Winter. It's a Winter. He's in behind the defenseman. It's 1-on-1 against the goalie, and he shoots, and he gets saved by Ehlert. Nice breakaway by Winter. He had him on the backside. He was up and behind the defense, and it was mano-a-mano. He tried to do a little backhander, and the goalie got him. Got a save.
Yeah, that was a beautiful, beautiful play by Andrew Winter there. He's only a sophomore this year, getting a one-on-one opportunity there with the goalie. Not quite able to capitalize on it, but nonetheless a great play for the sophomore.
Spencer Klotz in behind the net after the face-off, controlled by the Raiders. That puck comes loose, trying to get a pass out to the point, but that gets intercepted by the Wingers. Now it's picked up on the near side. That's Peterson down the right side, picked up and blocked off by Winter. Or that's David Royal, rather, in the contest here now. 2 of the Raiders down in the near boards, and no more man advantage. Back to full strength for both teams. Puck is directly out in front, and that was a nice shot just left of the goal. And it was fortunate. There was a little bit of a scrum down there in behind the net. Right now there's a centering pass out there, and nobody's out in front to get it. Peterson unable to control the puck. Now goes to the far boards. They're going to try to put it up to the circle. Puck gets deflected just left of Waylock for a centering pass again, and that goes right through the slot, and the Raiders come up with it, and now here comes Klotz again, and it looks like we're going to have a timeout on the ice.
It looks like it, as Klotzy had a nice breakaway there, but there was a couple of scuffles there on the Raiders side behind it. Alan Royal, one of the Red Wing wingers, behind that getting a little bit of scuffle, and then another one out in center ice.
Sawyer controls the puck into the neutrals or into the zone. He goes with Red Wing, dumps it all the way back in behind the corner. The Red Wing will come loose with it, try to center it through, and it's going to bounce all the way through the neutral zone and all the way behind the net, and we'll have another face-off all the way down in the Red Wing zone. Raiders out shooting the Wingers so far 31-6. So it's 11-3 here in the second period, as the Raiders have been out shooting the Red Wing Wingers thus far here in the second period. No score here in the second period as the Raiders lead 2-0. Both scores coming in the first period. 5:35 remaining. Red Wing with the puck in their own zone. Far circle. Picked up by the Raiders. Centering pass. Nobody out there. Just the Wingers themselves. That's going to be picked up by Quaid. And that puck's going to get fired by Voigt from the left circle, but that is going to go right into the glove of Dixon Eilers.
Raiders still controlling the puck here in the Red Wing zone. Having, again, like we've talked about all night, Raiders leading the shots on goal by a lot, but nothing the Red Wing wingers haven't seen this year, as we've talked about. They've normally been outshot, but still come up with the win. Tonight, the script has been flipped a little bit so far.
Raiders try to control the face-off and do, and then it's broken up by Red Wing and picked up by them. They're going to try to clear it through the neutral zone. Raiders dump it right back in, keep it in. Red Wing trying to get it loose. There's a pass across the stick, right past the stick of Beckel, and it'll keep on going all the way into the Raiders zone. Raiders coming up with it. Pass into the neutral zone to Winter. Winter dumps it all the way in behind. Picked up in behind the net by Winter. He's going to look for a centering pass, and there it is. It is missed by Geiger before Winter just gets smoked against the boards. So getting a little aggressive here, getting a little chippy here in the second period. 4:47 remaining here in the second period as the Raiders lead 2-0 over the Red Wing Wingers. From your Mark Cornell scoreboard, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Kind of looked like Winter wanted to have a few words with Red Wing after that hit, but he kept his head cool, and we're back to some more hockey.
Into the neutral zone, the puck comes. That's going to get picked up by the Raiders. They'll skate it all the way back in there. Winter again with a pass to the far boards. Down the right side they go. Looks like Munson. Nope, make that Olsen. Not Munson, that's Olsen. And he'll come up and pick it up behind the net, picked up, centering pass, goes all the way up to the top of the circle. Shot towards the goal, no good. Winter in hot pursuit again. Raiders keep the puck in. There's a shot at the middle, picked up by the defense, and that's going to be Ahem going into the neutral ice. Before that, gets stick checked off of there, and then now it's Olsen dumps it all the way back into the near corner. Winter in hot pursuit again, trying to get in there and mix it up a little bit. Winter not afraid to scrap it up, as we've seen so far tonight. That puck comes loose all the way into the neutral zone. That's going to get picked up by Frank. He's going to skate it back into the Raiders zone, picked up in the neutral zone by Fossum. He's going to try to dump it into the zone. Can't do it. It's finally kicked into the zone by Kaiser. He's going to get a shot on goal from the right point, and he will score. Down the right side he goes. Shot and a goal, and we are leading 3-0 on a goal by Kaiser.
Another goal by Camden Kaiser. Another nice play. Just kind of used that speed, went for the far corner of the net, and he got all of it. as basketball would say, it was all net. It was not deflected by Red Wing at all, not deflected by another Raider. It was all Kaiser there as the Raiders go up 3-0.
So Kaiser scoring at the 13-18 mark. So the first period he scored at the 13:55, and then he had a goal here at the 13-18. And it wasn't but a couple minutes later when Klotz got another goal in the first period. Let's see what happens here as they centered the puck into their own zone. Now they're in the Red Wing zone. Red Wing trying to clear it. They're on a 2-on-1. Here they come down the right side. Here comes Carson. He's got a shot up the middle. That one comes loose. But Waylock with a stop. There's another stop off the pad. Out comes Carson Johnson. Larson trying to just dig away. Now we got 4 people on the ice. We got guys scrapping it up everywhere. They're punching, they're throwing. There's a stick to the helmet there. This is just getting out of hand now, boys and girls. Getting really scrappy in the middle there. So Waylock, he's capable of keeping the puck out of the net after a huge assault coming in from there. That puck down the right side. Casey Larson with the puck was able to take it down the right side. He was beat the defense on the clear of the puck from the zone and was able to take it down and get a couple of shots on goal. But the rebounds came out in front, and Waylock kept staying on top of them. But it was the long rebounds, and then that got it in the middle, and it got really scrappy in there at that point. So no goal, 3:13 remaining here in the second period, and we have a 3-0 contest here as Northfield takes the lead. They just got a timeout right here, right now. Looks like they're going to send somebody to the box. They're going to send a couple guys back to the box. Looks like they're going to probably get charged with roughing, as they were back down in the corner down there, and they were really scrapping it up for a little bit there. Temperature starting to flare just a little bit.
Yeah, no doubt. Keaton Wallach was doing great there, and then the Red Wing kept trying to push, and then even after the whistle, and the Raiders weren't going to let their teammate continue to get pushed after the whistle, so they got in there, threw a few punches, it looked like. But it looks like Red Wing has won, and then it looks like Caden Monson's going to be in the box for the Raiders.
And it looks like that's Peterson, number 21 again for Red Wing. So we're going to go they're going to put both those boys in the box for roughing, and we'll still be at full strength. Raiders control the puck from their zone. It's going to be Sawyer down the shot right between the pads. That's going to be blocked by Ehlers. Puck's going to come clear into the neutral zone, and out it goes all the way down to the Northfield. Back in behind the net, that'll be Riley. They'll get an icing call. They'll bring it all the way back down. Looks like they're going to face off just right of Ehlers. So 2 guys in the box, probably for the rest of the second period. It definitely looks like it.
Yeah, they don't have a clock going, so we'll assume second period, 4-on-4 here.
So we'll be 2:35 remaining here in the second period as the Raiders continue to lead this contest 3-0. Puck's going to get dumped all the way in behind the near circle here. Getting picked up by Sawyer. Sawyer trying to battle for it against the boards. Can't get it. Raiders and Red Wing mixing it up a little bit. Puck kind of comes loose and finally picked up by Sawyer. He's going to have a centering pass out to the top. Royal. He gets stick checked by Larson. That puck's going to go all the way through the neutral zone into the Raiders' end. Puck comes loose. Royal picks it up. Down the near boards he comes. Passes it up to Sawyer. Sawyer across the middle. Misses the pass. And he'll come out of the game, and they'll switch up the lines again as Fossum now back on defense. Red Wing tries to clear it. Fossum picks it up in his own zone. They'll reset. Fossum over to Winter, down the near boards. Down the left side he comes. And he's going to take another shot. That one's across the middle. And just missing the opportunity is Geiger again with that centering pass. Puck's going to come loose all the way to the top of the circle. Now down into the near boards. 1:21 remaining here in the second period. Fossum trying to aim towards the net. Got a couple of people out in front of there. Puck comes loose into the near boards. Battling down in the corner is the Wingers and the Raiders. Before Larson pushes the puck all the way down into the neutral zone and across into the Raiders zone before Fossum is able to pick it up. And he's going to pass it up the near boards again to Winter. That one's going to go all the way in behind the boards. Picked up originally by Red Wing, but there's a centering pass out front. And that shot is blocked by Ehlers. Now the puck's going to get cleared again right after the net, right on Waylock's left side, just glove side. It misses it by 2-3 feet. And it looks like we are going to have another face-off down on the right of the goalie.
And both of the boys for Red Wing and the Raiders are out of the box. It looks like it wasn't for the entire second period, as they're both out of the box and both teams are at full strength.
47.1 seconds to go here in the second period. Munson, puck in behind the net, centering past the Klotz. He's a shot, and that goes right into the glove. And another little scrum getting started down by the goalie. Just 40 seconds remaining here in the second period as the Raiders lead this contest 3-0, out shooting Red Wing 36-9.
Yeah, the Raiders continuing to build up those shots on goal, as it's kind of been working so far. Raiders up 3-0 here in the second period after Camden Kaiser had his second goal earlier this period.
Klotz controls the faceoff. It comes up to the center, top of the circle, and then is sent down into the near boards. Klotz trying to do a wraparound with a backhand. That one gets deflected, and it is going to be Red Wing trying to clear it. There's Larson back on the ice again, and it's going to get tied up before Raiders come clean with it. Klotz clears it all the way across to the near boards, in behind the net. That puck's going to get dumped back, and that's going to be Munson. He's going to go across ice pass all the way to the far right. There's a rebuttal, if you will. A nice forward check by the Raiders, and there's a 0.8 seconds remaining here. And it looks like they may call a penalty on that one. Let's take a look. Yeah, looks like they're going to go cross-checking on that, and they're going to get Klotz for checking on that with the 16:59.2. At 16:59.2, looks like Klotz is going in for cross-checking. So just less than a second to go here in the second period. So Klotz with a penalty. And we're waiting for the face-off to the right of the goalie, and they got a shot on it. Wow. Right on the face-off. They were able to catch that puck and flip it towards the net, and Waylock was able to save it. From your Mark Cornell scoreboard, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Northfield Raiders 3, and the Red Wing Wingers, nothing. We'll have a recap of the hockey game thus far. We'll come back in a couple of minutes and recap everything. You're listening to Raider Hockey on KYMN. Welcome back to the Northfield Ice Arena with Jimmy LaRue and AJ Reister. We're in between periods here in the second period, in between the second and third period. The Raiders are currently out shooting the Red Wing Wingers 38-10. They had 19 shots on goal there in the second period compared to 7 shots for Red Wing. It was pretty much a back and forth battle. Had a few penalties there in the second half, or in the second period there. The Raiders were leading the contest 2-0 out of the first, and the first goal came at 13:55 in the first with an assist for Spencer Kloss as Camden Kaiser scored to put the Raiders on the board in the first period. And then it was at the 16:08 mark, just a couple of minutes later, Spencer Kloss took it all by himself into the net and put them up 2-0. And it was about another similar 13 minutes and 18 seconds into the second period before Kaiser got a nice rebound off the pad and was able to put it home for his second goal of the night. And got a little chippy there in that third period. A lot of penalties going back and forth. The Tristan Peterson has got three periods, or he's got 3 penalties on the night, including a couple of trippings, a couple of cross-checking, and there was a little bit of a roughing penalty there between Caden Munson and Tristan Peterson there in the second period. So there was running back and forth. There was still even strength throughout that penalty, but for the most part getting a little chippier there in the second period. So again, the Raiders leading this one 3-0. Spencer Klotz will be going to the box right to start the third period, and like I said, they are out shooting him 38-10.
Yeah, as you were saying, it's getting a little bit chippy there. We had quite a big scuffle where a lot of the guys were throwing some punches there in front of the net after a shot on goal where Keaton Wallach there was a flurry of shots on Keaton, and he was able to keep the puck out of the net, and then Red Wing kind of continued to push and shove after the whistle, and then the Raiders didn't like that too much, so started pushing and shoving back, so that kind of got the crowd a little bit riled up as well as the players, and that's when we saw that those offsetting penalties were in that 4-on-4. So that was, from a fan standpoint, that was pretty fun to watch. But I'm sure down on the ice, they're getting their blood is boiled and they're ready to come out here in the third period and put this one away.
Without a doubt, I can see this. Red Wing is known as well. If you heard their coach up front, they know that Northfield's aggressive. They know that they're going to be coming at them hard and strong, and they like to take them off the forecheck. So it's going to be a very spirited third period here. So it should be a lot of fun. We're going to take another quick break. We'll take about 90 seconds, and we'll come back right here. You're listening to Raider Hockey on KYMN. Welcome back to the Raiders Northfield Ice Arena. Got caught with a little bit of water in my mouth there. So welcome back to the Northfield Ice Arena. We are here at the Northfield Ice Arena. The Raiders lead this contest 3-0, and the players have finally returned to the ice for the third period, and they're doing their warm-up skate across and around the rink. So we'll have the face-off coming here in just a couple of minutes. The Raiders, of course, 2-1 on the season thus far, and they are leading this contest 3-0. And their next opponent will be Faribault, and that's going to be Thursday, December 16th. So there's going to be a slight period there in between, and that's going to be at the Faribault Ice Arena. And then they're going to have a little tournament play there December 21st as they take on St. Paul Academy at the Drake Arena up there. And then on Monday, December 27th, it's Holy Angels. So they're going to get some out-of-conference type contest going in hopes of getting some additional experience and taking on some bigger schools, as will be the case should they get through the Big Nine and get into the playoffs. And we're off to the third period. Raiders again left to right on your radio dial, and the Red Wing Wingers from right to left. And they're going to pick that up on their own end of the ice. Red Wings skating across into neutral ice and now into the Raiders zone. But that gets broken up immediately as he trips over his own guy going into the Northfield zone. So the Raiders will defend this in the neutral zone. Puck comes clear. Frank recovers it off the boards. Munson can't get a stick on it, and they will send that puck all the way towards the net. Munson picks it up, tries to keep it in the zone. Red Wing picking it up, so they are on the power play. So 1 minute and 12 seconds remaining here in the third period of the power play, as Spencer Klotz is chilling like a villain over there in the penalty box. So that puck's going to come all the way loose. That's going to be an icing, and they're going to bring it all the way down. So far, penalty kill going pretty well for the Northfield Raiders, and they have 1 minute and 5 remaining. It's 16:05 remaining in the overall third period, and your Raiders lead this contest 3-0 from your Mark Cornell scoreboard. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. That puck kind of comes clean. Raiders going to control it. In the neutral zone it goes. Now they're going to dump it all the way up on top into the rafters, and they will have a stoppage of play. And that should be coming out to neutral ice, and they'll go to the far circle and face off with 15:56 remaining here in the third period. Raiders controlling the shot 38-10, and they will control that face-off before the puck will come back into the Red Wing zone. They will regroup, and they try to dump it in, but Winter with a nice deflection and defensive move. Puck comes all the way loose, tries to get clues. Kaiser can't hold on to it. Puck's out in front. There's a shot over the top of the net. It goes. Raiders try to recover and pick it up on the near boards. Red Wing trying to dump it back in, but it's not. Winter. Kaiser picks it up. He's got a man open across the ice, and a shot, and it's no good. And this one is good. Kaiser with a hat trick. Kaiser with the goal. Kaiser with the hat trick. Kaiser at the 1:36 mark with a hat trick.
And the hats go flying from the students section. Cam Kaiser with his third goal on the night. Camden Kaiser going into Red Wing territory, passes it to Andrew Winter, who passes it right back to Cam, has a wide open shot and takes it and takes advantage of it. And the Raiders go up 4-0 here in the third period.
15:24 remaining at the 1:36 mark of the third period. Cam Kaiser with the rebound shot, and he is going to have a hat trick tonight. The first hat trick for Cam Kaiser in his high school career, and couldn't come at a better time.
I completely agree with that one. The Raiders and Red Wing get a little chippy here, playing with some energy, and Camden Kaiser putting 3 on the board here tonight. Only a sophomore, so it shows you how much talent he's going to have here coming in the next couple of years.
2 goals on the season, 3 tonight to get up to 5 already. Unbelievable. And that was shorthanded, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
So the Red Wing will control the puck, and they will control it in the neutral ice. They'll try to dump it into the Northfield zone. That puck's going to come all the way across ice, back into the neutral ice. Red Wing will try to skate it out of there. Unable to get it into the Northfield zone. They're just going to bounce check it back off, and they are going to be at full strength once again as Eggers on the Red Wing goalie tries to clear it out of the zone. Picked up by Red Wing. Into the neutral zone it goes. Still having difficulty trying to get the puck into the Northfield zone. There's going to be Larson picking that one up. There's going to be a shot. That's going to get deflected all the way to the near boards here. A couple of guys fighting for it down there. Frank pushing and shoving. Again, a lot of forechecking going on here in the corner. And it looks like passes will come up to Merritt. Merritt's going to try to dump it into the zone. That's going to get cleared right back up by Red Wing. And now we got a 2-on-1. Larson with the puck from the left point. That one's no good. Rebound. Centering pass, no good. In behind the net it goes. Now it's going to get underneath the glove of Waylock. And again, a little pushing and shoving in there Casey Larson is the forward, and he's the senior. He's 6'5", about 190 pounds. He's tall for sure, and like I said, he is their number one scorer on that team. So always a threat and always a danger when he gets that puck coming down that left side. Puck is controlled by Red Wing. Now it comes loose towards a pass towards the goal, but then just comes all the way to the near board. Raiders will pick it up, try to bring it into the neutral ice. It goes back in for Red Wing. They're going to dump it all the way in behind the net. Racing for that is Johnson. Johnson in behind the net, skating it up, passing it up, and in through. Geiger trying to pick it up. That's going to fall back on Johnson. Johnson's going to skate it all the way through the neutral ice. They got a little 3-on-2. There's a shot right at the goal, up and over the glove of the goalie. Picked up by Olsen down underneath. Now it's a scramble out in front of the net. Put his hand on the puck, and they'll face it off right of the goalie again. So not quite the intensity I thought was coming out of there from Red Wing.
Yeah, they're down here now 4-0 after that Camden Kaiser goal, but not a whole lot of energy as we saw in the second period here in the third.
So the Raiders will control the puck. There's a shot right into the chest of the goalie. That'll come loose down around the outside, onto the far boards, trying to keep it in. They do so. Puck goes into the near boards, now into the near corner. Skate up the circle, into the crease. There's a shot and another catch by goalie Dixon Ehlers, the senior.
Yeah, another nice play by Ehlers. He's kind of having a tough night tonight. We normally see him. He had, 54 saves in his last game. But tonight, the Raiders have been able to put 4 past him. He was a 95% save percentage. That number has gone down quite a bit here tonight.
Yes, it is indeed. There's a backhander by Kaiser towards the net. Nothing. Fossum picks it up on the far board. In around behind the net it goes. Comes up to the near circle. Frank trying to dump it in behind. That's going to get picked up. Centering pass is no good. Now in front, Fossum shot. Deflected out in front. Again, no good. That one is off. Let's see if they call that one. Klotz tried to backhand it in there. And they are calling the goal, even though the net appeared to have come off. But the goalie and the referees are reviewing it a little bit, and it looks like they will give Klotz the goal.
Spencer Klotz, is that his second tonight? I believe so. Yep, it is his second. So now Kaiser with 3, Klotz with 2. 2 very, very great athletes. Played some football together. Klotz, he spent some extra time in the fall playing some hockey. It's paying off here tonight.
So they do count goal. So 12:50 remaining here in the third period. It is 5-0 as a couple of guys get tangled up there. Kate and Wheelock. Shot out in front. That one's off the pad. That's going to come up off to the far side. Now cleared back in behind the boards and picked up by Red Wing in behind the net. Tries to push it out in front. Can't do it. Frank with the puck. Gets it stick handled off his puck by Larson. Larson trying to swat at it with a stick. Waiting for a slashing call to come there, but that's not happening. Now it's going to be Voigt down the side, right side. There's a shot off the stick, up and over and into the overhead net. And so we will now face off again. I believe it will be in the neutral zone or just to the left of Dixon Ehlers. So 2:12 remaining, 44 shots on the night for the Raiders thus far. And from your Mark Cornell scoreboard, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. They lead this contest 5-0. Johnson shot broken up by Red Wing. Coming in the neutral zone. Tries the centering pass up there. No good. That is going to get picked up by Geiger. Geiger's going to clear it through. Pushes it up to Merritt. Down the right-hand side he goes. Looking for somebody out front. Nobody's there. And they didn't get a good forecheck on him on that one. Puck goes to the left circle. There's a shot in behind the net. Now there's another centering pass, and that one's going to get deflected. Stick checked off. It's another centering pass, and there's another shot. Winner unable to capitalize. Raiders with a nice buzzing of the net there. Got a couple of quick shots on net. Got deflected by the Red Wing wingers. The defenseman down there able to break up the shot. There's a shot from the top point. That's going to come out in front for Waylock. There's nobody there to protect it. Hill's going to cover it all up. 11:28 remaining here in the third period.
Once again, Raiders, as it's been all night, dominating the shots on goal, 46-14. Again, as we talked about all night, Red Wing used to seeing that, but tonight the Raiders have been able to capitalize on more of those shots and lead this game 5-0.
Puck comes loose after the face-off. It's going to get Munson. He's going to take it all the way through the neutral zone. Gets broken up. Klotz dumps it back. Raiders regrouping. They'll bring it back. Forwarding pass up to Olsen. It goes into the zone of the Red Wing wingers. Klotz trying to chase the puck down. That puck's going to get cleared out by Red Wing. Cross ice pass down the inside. Now down the near boards. And we got a whistle stoppage. And it looks like we will regroup. And I think a puck got up and over the top of the glass there. We'll have a neutral ice face-off. 11:01 remaining here in the third period. So again, another line change for Red Wing. Up. Referee waved it off. They were not allowed to do the line change there, so they're going to wait for the face-off, and they do. Puck is controlled by Red Wing. They'll dump it all the way into the neutral zone, all the way down in behind the Northfield net. Puck comes loose, and out it comes. Here comes Kaiser down the right side. He's going to go wrap all the way around the net, centering pass out in front, but he cannot find the stick of Debussy. And now the puck into the Northfield zone, and we've got a man down on the ice.
Camden Kaiser just lit up. Number 12 of Red Wing. He's going to hit the box.
Yep, so Kaiser will now, after a hat trick today, he's going to get himself in a little bit of trouble. And he's going to be tripping there. And that is going to come at the 6:21 mark.
Might as well hit all the stat points, right? You got 3 goals. Now you got 2-minute penalty. What's next from Cam?
Right? What is next for Cam? We'll see. Hopefully not an ejection. That puck's going to come loose, so the Raiders will be at a short man advantage. The power play goes to Red Wing, and they have not been very successful. It's been a pretty good power play kill for the Raiders thus far. They're going to regroup. Red Wing going from the right to left, and they'll come out, regroup, coming all the way down into the Northfield Raider zone. Raiders are going to control that. They're going to clear it all the way down, and they send it right down the side of the boards, all the way in behind the net, and they will regroup again. Winter centering out in front in defense. Tries to break up the pass, kind of does so. And puck gets cleared again all the way down. They'll put that right out in front of Dixon Ayler's glove. They're going to regroup here a little bit. Raiders putting a little bit of pressure on in their own zone, especially with Spencer Kloss. He's got some good speed out there, and that's going to get intercepted there by Fossum. That puck went up and out and over. And we'll have another stoppage of play, and we'll have another face-off right here in the far neutral zone. 9 minutes, 42 seconds remaining here in the third period. Raiders lead 5-0 with 1 minute and 3 seconds to go on that penalty by Camden Kaiser for tripping. Puck comes out. Raiders will control it. In behind the net, cleared. Munson tries to dump it through. Picked up by the Wingers. Puck drops all the way back into the neutral or into the Northfield zone. Riley picking up the puck. Tries to clear it into the neutral zone. Can't. Red Wing just dumps it right back in. Waylock picks it up, clears it. Trying to fire it off. It gets into the neutral zone at least. Trying to get it into the Red Wing zone, but not having any luck here as the clock continues to run. 27 seconds remaining here in the penalty against Kaiser. Munson skating it through the neutral zone into Red Wing. Red Wing shot just misses out in front, and here he tries to stab one home, and the net comes loose again. There's another great play off the back of the box, and it was Braden Olsen with an opportunity to backhand it in, but the net came off the posts with 8:50 to go.
Really fun to see the Raiders here, not afraid to get aggressive on offense, even when shorthanded. We've seen that a couple of times tonight, and I believe it was Cam who had the goal when the Raiders were shorthanded and the Red Wing was in a power play. They still were able to get a goal off. So Raiders not afraid to be aggressive when they're shorthanded.
Definitely their power play kill is very effective here tonight against those wingers. Puck comes out to the near boards into neutral ice, now dumped into the winger zone. He gets taken off. Sawyer, there's getting a little pecky right there. There's number 27, Jacob Quaddy, taking a stick shot at the Raiders. There's a shot across the middle. Vogt fall down, tries to pick up his stake. Nobody out in front for the centering pass. Frank's from the right-hand side. Puck's going to go all the way in behind the net. Raiders fighting for it hard. And now we're going to have, looks like another penalty here. Let's see who's heading to the box now as they just came to full strength. Looks like it might have been just an interference call there. Oh, it is going to be against number 18. That's going to be Carter Knapp. Carter Knapp, the senior from Red Wing, and he's going to go into the box.
Now the Raiders have a power play opportunity here.
8:48. At the 8:48 mark, 8 minutes to go here in the contest. Raiders on the power play, down to the corner for Klotz. Now to the top. Frank, shot. Deflected off the goalie. Out in front again, deflected out again, and it finally comes clear and comes out with no goal on the call. So they're going to call that one as a stoppage of play, and we'll face off again to the right of the goalie as the Raiders lead this one 5-0.
It looked like Kaiser might have taken a glove to the face in that little scruffle in front of the net trying to put the puck in. Looked like one of the Red Wing guys might have hit him in the face.
1:43 remaining here in the power play. Red Wing trying to clear it out of their own zone. Can't. Fossum's going to skate it all the way backwards. They're going to regroup. Winter with the puck through the neutral zone, down the far boards. He gets taken off of his skates. Waiting for a penalty. There is no penalty. They're going to wave off that tripping call. Red Wing with the puck is going to get picked up on the far circle. Skates in behind the net. Looking for something out front for Winter. No, that's picked off by the Red Wingers. Now Fossum skating all the way back into the neutral zone. Now passes up as they dump it all the way back in. Forward check for sure on that one by the Wingers. Puck down in the near circle. Winter with the puck. That gets broken up. That's deflected off the stick of Bryant from Red Wing. That puck goes up and over and into the top net. So again, another stoppage of play. 7:11 remaining with 59 seconds in this power play. Raiders up with the lead, 5-0, out shooting Red Wing 49-14. Will face off to the right of the goalie. Klotz to take the face off. He's got it, controls it. Raiders with the puck. Far circle, down in below, shot. Klotz off the goalie pad, picks it back up, skates it back out to the point. Now all the way across ice to Munson. Munson puts one on the stick, and it looks like we got a little more scrappiness going on over here. As Gabe Sawyer kind of gave him an old backhanded elbow there and dropped him to the ground. He didn't like it very much. He's got a look on his face like I'm going to get you. 6:55 remaining here in the third period. Raiders on top in the power play for another 40 seconds. Klotz with a shot off the goalie, up and over the air and into the net. We'll have another stoppage of play, and we'll face it off again.
Yeah, Raiders like to play aggressive, as we talked about in the Falcon game on Saturday. They got chippy early, and honestly, Raiders and the Falcons have had a long-lasting rivalry, but even here tonight against Red Wing, they want to be aggressive. They want to get their hands in there, not afraid to lay a couple of hits on the opposing team.
Puck down in the center, centering across the crease, no good. Now we got Frank on the point. Point shot, that's off the pad of the goalie. Klotz tries to get the rebound. He gets taken off his skates. And it's going to be Sawyer in the far circle, looking underneath, dumps it down into Klotz. Klotz skates into the crease, and it's going to come in behind the net, back out front, shot! That one's up over the top, off the glass, and around, comes out in front to Frank. Frank in the front circle, shot to the middle. Klotz, stick handling, moving the puck around, that one's saved. Klotz picks it up again, time running out, power play, and they are even. Bam! Another shot right into the chest of the goalie, and they will stop the play there. Another fine shot by Kaiser from that left circle as we are approaching the 6-minute mark remaining here in the contest at the Northfield Ice Arena as the Raiders lead 5-0 in favor over the Red Wing Wingers. We'll face off just to the right of the goalie in Red Wing. Puck's going to get controlled by Red Wing, but then defended and picked up by the Raiders. Puck gets dumped all the way down. Looks like we got an injury there as looks like Olsen is taken off the ice. I think he caught the puck somewhere in his arm or something like that, so he came off the ice real quick, but it looks like he's okay. He's going to be okay. We're going to have the puck in now in the Red Wing zone. They're going to try to clear it. Comes skating all the way through into the neutral zone. Loses the puck. Centering pass out in front. Raiders intercept. Puck comes clear. Down the right side, we got Baki down the right side. And he's going to lose the puck. And the puck comes clear right out in front. Nobody picks it up. Red Wing trying to collect it. Finally, the Raiders control it. There's a fancy little move right there. There's a shot on goal right out in front. And that one by Geiger is saved again. So Geiger, like you said, sophomore in high school, just terrorizing it here tonight.
He may be a little guy, but he's fast, and we saw that in the football season. He made some incredible plays on defense, even for a small guy. Quarterbacks like to target him. He would make a great play. Now he's making some great plays out on the ice, just terrorizing this defense here tonight.
5:12 remaining in the third period. Face-off, controlled by Red Wing. Tries to clear the edge, can't. Frank keeps it in. Red Wing recovers, tries to go through the zone. Here comes Larson all the way through the zone, down the far boards. He gets taken off his skates. Raiders get the puck, and they're going to bring it right back down the right side. Here comes Kaiser again. He's going to get forechecked off the puck. Going to go right in the corner. And, they set him up big time as they went 2-on-1 into the corner. That puck's going to kind of come loose a little bit. Oh, they are really getting chippy here as they start. That should be a slashing penalty right there. It should be, at least. Unless they're going to maybe do one of those off calls, those couple of calls here. No, they're going to send Kaiser to the box, which is funny because I don't know if they're going to get him for roughing or what they're going to do. But then, so now they will send the second guy. Yep, they're going to be offsetting penalties again. That's going to be number 12. That's Tripp. He's going to get called for penalty. And so both of them are going to get one for roughing and one for slashing. And they'll both go to the box for a couple of minutes anyhow. And that is at the 13-17 mark.
Kaiser's kind of checking out his nose. He got hit really hard on the boards here on the near side, so he's kind of getting checked out for any cuts or scrapes or anything out of whack.
Looks like he's okay there. They just waved him off. 4:38 remaining here in the third period. Puck comes loose and into the netting, and we will have another face-off just to the right of the goalie. Raiders control it. The puck's going to come loose, put all the way out into the neutral zone, and then all the way back into the Raiders zone, and the Raiders will control it. It's going to get picked up, so he's going to call him for hooking, it sounds like, and tripping. So both guys in the box for a couple of minutes, and they'll be evenly matched out here as there'll be a full man advantage. No power play in the play. That'll just be at full strength the entire time. Another shot on goal. And that'll be 57, number 57 on goal to Red Wings' 14 shots on goal as they lead this contest 5-0. And there's not a lot of hustle going on here. I think they're getting gassed here a little bit. I mean, they're going back and forth, up and back and forth across the ice. But Raiders still leading this one 5-0. Frank shot left of the goal, no good. Out in front was Brocky. He couldn't convert the tip. Now the puck to the near circle. Shot out in front. Sawyer deflected by the Raiders. Kept back in by the Raiders. Goalie kicks it clear to the far corner. Now it comes in behind the net. Sawyer with a centering pass. Nobody out in front to see that one. Frank, he'll recover the puck. 3:41 remaining here in the third period. Pass all the way up to Brocky. He tries to dump it in the zone. It gets picked up by Red Wing. Red Wing through the neutral zone. There's going to be a nice check right there by Frank. And that's going to be Voigt. He's going to grab the puck in behind the net. Back around to Frank. He skates it on the far side. Now he'll pass it all the way up in through the neutral zone. Picked up by Voigt. He's got a shot right there, right on point, and right on the glove of Derek Ehlers. So again, another shot on goal, saved by Ehlers. I mean, they're trailing 5-0, but he's stopped 54 shots. So
that's not bad.
That's still pretty good. But yeah, like you said, his 94-95% percentile is coming down a little bit. Based on that, it's going to be a couple of points. That's about it. But it's still pretty outstanding. All right, that puck's going to get cleared all the way through. Waylock's going to retrieve it. Pull it back, let somebody come back and pick it up, let Luke Johnson take it, but he gets taken off of his skates, and down the ground he goes.
Wow.
He should be heading to the box. That should be. That should be Jorgen Olvenes.
That was more of a wrestling move
Was
than
it?
a check.
Or no, maybe that's Corden Knapp. That's number 18, Knapp. So Knapp is going to go.
So now we got two Red Wing
he's
wingers.
Going in, so he's got at the 13:59 mark, he's going to the penalty box. That's his second penalty of the third period here. So 3:01 remaining as he goes to the penalty box for hog tying in wrestling, or whatever the heck that was. But it was something. 3:01 remaining here in the third period. Raiders will be at a one-man advantage as the puck gets cleared by Red Wing all the way down. Fossum looking out, making sure he doesn't get crushed into the boards. Larson was just waiting to drop him, too. Puck comes clear into the neutral zone, all the way back into the winger zone, and they're going to call them for icing. So we'll bring that puck all the way back down, and it'll be just to the left of Keaton Waylock. You know, it's got to be kind of interesting because Waylock, he's only had 14 shots on goal, and most of the time the puck's down on the other end.
Yeah. Just kind of hanging out down there, and we've seen a few times him come out of the net, and so that the Raiders can have an extra man and try to put the puck in the back of the net.
Well, give him credit for not, getting bored back there and letting a soft goal go in or anything like that. So, Raiders control that puck down in the far corner. We got some more going back and forth. They got their sticks caught up together, and they're going to send him. Are they sending him to the box, or are they sending both of them to the box again?
Yep, they're sending them both to the box. Fossum and number 21 going to the box.
Fossum and who? 21, Tristan Peterson. This is his fourth or fifth. Oh, my God, this guy is just tearing it up. He's going to the box again. So getting really chippy in here now.
What can I say? He loves the action. So he's not afraid to, get in there and get a couple penalties, 4 penalties. So
it was really
he wants
interesting.
that action.
Well, there's they got their sticks caught together. It made me look like there was a couple of bucks out there deer hunting. They were rooting things up, but with their sticks, they were trying to clack them together. It's just who's the male dominant,
Exactly.
But 1:27 remaining in the power play. And it looks like they're going to back it off. It'll be 4-on-4. Now here comes the power play. That's what I thought. They're offsetting penalties. So the Raiders should still be in a power play for a minute and 27 seconds. They will control. Ooh, there's a centering pass out in front, but nobody out in front for Red Wing to slam one home. So now down the right side is Vogt. He's going to take it into the corner. 2-on-1 down the corner. Raiders trying to keep it in. Puck comes clean before the Raiders are able to dump it back in. Winner comes it all the way back into the backside. Picked up in that far corner. Picked up by Red Wing. They're going to try to skate it out of there. Can't do it. That's going to get picked up here by Kaiser. And he's getting shoved all over the place down in the corner. A lot of cross-checking going on there. There's another shot. I go, no good. There's a backhand up over the top. No good. Inside the crease. And the puck comes loose. And it is Red Wing who comes away with it before Riley grabs it out of the top of the plate. There's a deflector, but did not go into the net. Raiders still getting after it here. And they have 35 seconds remaining in the power play. But we'll have another call on the play. 1:35 remaining, 62 shots on goal for the Raiders. I mean, I think you get tired just on that alone. Number 22 is going to be Cam Schlichting. Cam Schlichting will go to the goal, and he'll go in to the net as well. So there's another penalty against Red Wing, and we've got about a minute and 35 seconds remaining here in the third period. So he's got a 5-minute major on that one. So he's done for the night. And they've got a 2-man advantage for 35 seconds here in the third period. 1:35 remaining. Raiders lead this contest 5-0 from your Mark Quinnell scoreboard. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. So now the referee is talking it over here a little bit, wanting to find out what's happening with where they're at, and talking to the coach, trying to figure out what's happening here. So we got a little break in the action here as the Raiders pretty much maintaining control of this hockey game. It shouldn't be too hard to get through a minute and 35, I wouldn't think.
Yeah, especially, they're up 5-0, and they lead shots on goal 62-14. I mean, this Red Wing winger defense has kind of let the Raiders just shoot whenever they want. I mean, granted, the Raiders only put 5 in the back of the net, but still 62 shots on goal. That is a crazy number. It's pretty rare you see 62 shots on goal combined, let alone one team
especially
getting
in high school.
62 shots. Yeah, it's pretty incredible. And the fact that Dixon's been back there for the Red Wing wingers that's probably why his percentage is so high up, is because this defense is constantly just getting shot after shot after shot on. But Dixon's back there, save after save after save. So he's only let in 5. He's let in 5, but there's been 62 shots on goal, so his percentage looks pretty good on paper.
So they did call that 5-minute major for boarding as he pushed Kaiser into the board there. So a minute 35 remaining. He'll be done for the night. They call the timeout on the ice here. We'll probably keep it here. I'm not sure if it's a 30 or a 60, but there's a timeout. And they're going to regroup. They should be at a 2-man advantage for about 35 seconds. And then for the remainder of the minute, they'll still have a man advantage on the ice at the time. So, again, thanks for joining us here at KYMN Radio and listening to us on AM 1080 and KYMN Radio 95.1 The One. And if you're not only seeing it, you're hearing it, but you're viewing it on KYMNradio.net as we are streaming live this hockey game tonight. So we're going to start bringing you a few more of these games, not only over the air, but streaming them live so you can watch them as well. That puck's going to come loose. And Coyle out in front. That puck's going to get picked up by the Red Wing. Larson's going to fire it all the way down in behind the net. Minute and 23 remaining. 21 seconds remaining in the power play for the Raiders. Passing the puck up to Olsen. Olsen down the right side. Dump pass. Nothing happening there. It's going to get picked up by Winter. It's going to picked up by the Red Wing wingers through the neutral zone. Trying to get a 2-on-1. There's a shot. And that one's just going to be caught by Waylock. Waylock's giving a push back. Guy took a shot at him. That's number 12 up there. That's that Robbie Tripp. And Robbie took a little slash there with the hockey stick, and Waylock didn't like it much and gave him a little push back. So, again, now the goalie's getting into it.
Yeah, why not? We got 3 Red Wing wingers in the box. Got Michael Fossman in the box. Yeah, a minute left. Why not?
So that shorthanded goal, no shorthanded. Now they'll have a man advantage for the remainder of the contest. 60 seconds remaining. I don't know if they're going to go after him, what they're going to do. The Raiders are kind of just setting up in their own zone. And it looks like they're just going to try to get off the ice, I think, more or less without any type of injury or anything like that. There's a cross-ice pass to Olsen. He's going to go down the right side. He's going to get a shot. Gets off the stick of Eggers. That's going to go to the far boards, into the far circle. And before that gets cleared, all the way down to Waylock. Waylock dumps it off. Let Riley pick it up. Riley in behind the net. 28 seconds to go. Forwarding pass into the neutral zone. Raiders in control of this game. And it looks like they're going to call possibly an offsides. It looks like they're. So we've got 21.8 seconds remaining in the contest. Just can't get through it here today. So again, the Raiders lead 5-0. 21.8 seconds remaining here in the third period. And it looks like it'll be Raiders going on to a 3-1 record, and falling to 2-2 will be Red Wing and the Wingers. So the Raiders will again have some games coming up here. And they will be up against on Thursday night. This is going to be about a week and a half away. It'll be Faribault on the 16th. That'll be the next game for the Wingers, or for the Raiders rather. And the time will expire, and that is it. That is the end of the third period. The Northfield Raiders 5 and the Red Wing Wingers 0. We'll take a couple minutes. We'll bring it back, and we'll recap the game here tonight from your Mark Cornell scoreboard. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. You're listening to Raider Hockey on KYMN. Welcome back to the Northfield Ice Arena, and the Raiders win 5-0 tonight. AJ Reeser along with Jimmy LaRue on the call here today, and we've been streaming live all night. So KYMNradio.net. We're going to be doing a few more games like that, so we hope you enjoy it, and we hope you had a good time. Just a quick recount here: 63-15 outshot the Red Wing Wingers. Three. They had 3 shots in the third period is all they were able to get off. And they looked a little sluggish there in the third period. But it all started there in the first period as they outshot them 19-3. And it was the 13:55 mark when Camden Kaiser put away his first goal of the night, I should say, as they put him up 1-0 with 13:55. Then just a couple minutes later, and that was off the assist of Spencer Klotz, by the way. And then it was kind of a backhanded skate through the left-hand side. Spencer Klotz just 2 minutes later at the 16:08 mark. He puts the Raiders up 2-0 as they finished the period 2-0 with 19 shots on goal versus 3. And then it was in the second period. Kaiser rather, at the 13:18 mark, he was able to get a rebound off and put one past the goalie once again to put him up 3-0. And then who else comes back? Just a couple minutes later, Spencer Klotz comes back, scores at the 16:59 mark to put him up 4-0. And then it was at the 4:01 mark again, or no, rather I want to say Camden Kaiser at the 1:36, just at the beginning of the period, he scores at 1:36, and so he comes away with his hat trick for the night, first hat trick for Kaiser in his career, and they take a 5-0 lead. And then from that point, it is just a dogfight, basically. There was 8 penalties just on Red Wing alone tonight, 6 of them in the third period. So it got a little bit ugly, got a little chippy. Even Spencer Klotz spent some time, and a couple of the other Raiders ended up in the penalty box as well. And it was just, that third period was, there was plenty of shots on goals and plenty of stuff going on, but man, did that get chippy.
Oh, yeah. I was just talking on the phone with Jeff Johnson. He told me about the rivalry this is. The Raiders and the Red Wing Wingers go back a long time. They do not like each other. So if you were here for Saturday night's game and you saw the Raiders and Falcons get chippy, it was that and more here tonight against Red Wing. We saw that big scuffle in front of the net with Keaton Wallock and basically both benches getting in there, throwing punches at each other. We saw a lot of guys get hit with some slashes, a lot of gloves hitting each other. If they were allowed to, they would have been dropping the gloves about 5 times this game.
I think you're right. If they'd let them go, I think they would have went after it. But yeah, I think there's a lot of penalties, honestly, that didn't get called. Oh yeah. There was a lot of, they're hitting the stick across the ankles. They're hitting the stick in the back of the legs. There was a lot of that going on, especially in that third period. And frankly, the back of your calf, when you get hit with that stick, it hurts. It stings. And, that upsets people. And then, it doesn't help with your skating either. So the refs kind of kept it in control. They tried to let them play a little bit, which was kind of nice. Because, we got to see some pretty good hits. We saw some pretty big ones from both sides. But, the scraps up in front of the net in the crease and the people then, with a lot of the cross-checking there and the pushing and the shoving. And you could tell that these guys were fired up for tonight. So the Raiders win 5-0. They was pretty dominant, like I said, all the way around. They outshot them 63-15. So congratulations to the Raiders.
Yeah, now sitting at 3-1 on the season, looking to continue this hot streak after dropping their first game of the season. Now 3 home wins in a row. We'll see what they can do moving forward the rest of the season. I've talked with a couple of guys. They say their ultimate goal is to get to the Xcel Energy Center, and you know what? That's where their goals are at. They're going to work their butts off, and so far 3-1 looks pretty good.
Yeah, and so talking to Mike Lucraft on the Raider Wrap here about a week or so ago, they did graduate a lot of seniors, but they got 2 of the top scorers in Spencer Klotz and Caden Munson. But now they got all these young sophomores and juniors. Not only do we have a very solid hockey team this year, but they also have the potential to very realistically have a longevity. It's a team that is going to repeat and repeat and repeat. So it's optimism and great hope for the Northfield Raiders.
And that's exactly what you want to see as a fan here. If you're an underclassman kind of watch, and these guys are like, hey, these guys are pretty good. And then you see how old a lot of these guys are. They're like, hey, I'll get to watch these guys for a few more years. So that's really exciting as a fan to see, and to see them win like this tonight against a pretty solid team like Red Wing is really, really fun to see. And we're getting an update right now. The boys basketball team beat Red Wing as well, 46-43 over at Northfield High School. They were down after halftime, but it looks like the Raiders were able to come back. So we got 2 Raider wins tonight against the Red Wing Wingers. So overall, a great night for the Raiders.
Absolutely. So that's going to kind of wrap it up here from the Northfield Ice Arena. On behalf of Jeff Johnson back in the studio, and Lance Reister, who is running the camera for you. So if it was shaking a little bit, you can blame him on that. But we want to thank you for joining us here for Raider Hockey tonight. Again, remember, you can listen to us here at 95.1 The One and AM 1080, or you can stream us live now and actually see the game on KYMN Radio. .net. So, again, thanks for joining us this evening. Jimmy LaRue bidding you adieu along with A.J. Reister. Have a great night. Go Raiders. From the Mark Cornell scoreboard, like a good neighbor, the State Farm is there, and the Raiders win 5-0. You're listening to Raider Hockey on KYMN.